Hello and welcome to this episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show. I'm your host, Christine Innes. I'm so delighted to have the beautiful Susan Lauder sitting right next to me.
So am I. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so excited. And look, obviously, I feel like we've become really great friends, and
Yes.
I'm so blessed. Actually, my mum introduced me to you, so I am super grateful for that. And as I've got to know you, just a very beautiful, divine woman. So I'm so gracious for everything. So,
ditto.
So we're going to just have really just literally a conversation, and this is what I love about doing this sort of show, when just talk about obviously you changing careers and obviously gone from a bricks and mortar type business to something quite different. But do you want to sort of explain to everyone just a little bit about yourself and sort of what you do as well? And then we can dive in deep.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the beauty industry for 40 years, and I started at a young age because I had dreams, and my main dream was to help people feel special and to feel better about themselves. And I've had a really enjoyable journey along the way, and I've learned so much. And the one thing I didn't learn so much about was myself, because I got so trapped in everyone else's dreams and goals and visions. And I just became one of those little worker ants, and off I went every single day. And I've done a little bit of personal development along the way. But what I found is clearly not enough, not all of the things that I should have done, because all I was a working machine and a workaholic. And if anyone ever told me that, I didn't want to listen. And that took me into my 10 years of having my own bricks and mortar shop, which I did because I wanted to spend quality time with my newborn. And that didn't play out so well. And I think we've all been there. We have this great idea and we think, I've got this new baby, so what I'm going to do is start my own business so that I have time and I can be flexible and I'm not being told what to do. And unfortunately, it really did entrap me into something that gave me no time and no freedom. And with that came the sacrifice of really not being able to tap into who I was and what I really wanted in my life.
Yeah, I think so many of us can really relate to it, because I think sometimes we can have one event, but sometimes it takes multiple things for it to come. And then we sort of going, oh, hang on a second. That's pretty much the kick up the backside that we sort of need to start doing.
Yes.
When you had this sort of, obviously this bricks and mortar business that you had, and then now shifting into just a new sort of online world, there's so much I know that you've had to learn.
Absolutely.
But the learning within yourself, what do you think has been one of the biggest things that you've had to do?
I think getting out of the mindset program where we're taught to just, go to school, get a good job, work for the man, and just work as hard as you can until that day where you retire. So it's a whole programming of these are the steps that you need to take in life. So that just keeps you very tunnel visioned. And now having a untraditional type business and an online business, that was not me. I was very face-to-face. I could talk to people and communicate, but all of a sudden I found myself not keeping up with the times. And it was challenging and I didn't like it and I didn't want to look at it. And I was still trying to do an online business the old way. You know what I mean? So now I've had to be patient with myself. I've had to be kind. I've had to learn new skills that are enabling me to move forward in my business and to help other people. And all of my old, I guess, blocked ways of thinking, no, it's all about, being with people, whilst it's lovely and it's great, but most of the time we're in these sort of places now. So I've had to learn a lot. And this is stretching me, even doing something like this, taking selfies of myself, putting things on Facebook, doing Zooms, ordering stuff online. I'm from an old retail background where you'd go into a shop. But it's me keeping up with the times, and it's the future. That's where we are now.
And there is quite a lot. And I love what you just said before is one of the things I think all of us need to do in any change that we go through is to be kinder to ourselves, because we are our worst critics.
Absolutely.
Like, I say stuff to myself that I would never say to anybody else.
Yeah.
So I think that is, if anyone gets anything out of this today, is just really be kinder to yourself.
It's so true. I caught myself the other day. I was running out the door and I'd forgotten something. And I got to my car and I went, "You stupid idiot, start to get organised.
Yeah.
You know, what you're running around, get up early." And I started beating myself up about something as simple as forgetting something.
Yeah.
So I think it's so true what you say. We need to be patient and we need to be kind with ourselves. And how we talk to ourselves really does do a lot to us as people. So I think you've got to love yourself like you're your own best friend.
Oh, so true. And it is hard still. I mean, I've been doing the personal development, for 5 years now, and I still have those moments.
Well, we're human.
We are.
Well, I think you are. Yes,
but one of the things that I always say is that I remove the word perfection out of my vocabulary, because I am a true perfectionist. I like things all neat and tidy and all done right. But when you have a business, you have to let go of so much of that. And I think that's when that next point you said was the patient comes into it, because as perfectionists, sometimes we're impatient and we want things done now, all done rightly. Whereas when you're learning the business journey, it is a sort of gradual sort of take baby steps. And sometimes you fall down, you have to learn to get back up again, and, all those different things as well.
Yeah. It's so true. And they say patience is a virtue. I took up karate in March of this year, which was really crazy. I'll have my black belt when I'm 60, but that's okay. And the reason I did it is because someone told me I wasn't patient.
Yep.
And I went, that's so not true. I'm the most patient person there is. And this journey with karate is teaching me that, no, I wasn't patient. I wanted everything done now. I wanted everything to be perfect. And it's all part of learning. And I think every step forward, as little as it is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I think most of us who are entrepreneurial and want to help people and want to have our own business, they're all good qualities, but with that comes that perfectionism. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, because we want to do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember back in the corporate days, I would sit there and I would have emails sitting in draft, and I would go over them time and time again, making sure that, grammar, the tone, and, at the end, now I will send an email to a client and there's spelling errors and that, but it's done. And I think that's one of the biggest learning lessons, is that sometimes, like, you have to remember that done is better than not done.
Yeah. And I think there's that old word, paralysis via analysis.
Yes.
And it's so true. You just don't get anything done if you want everything to be perfect. And that's been one of my big lessons. And the other one was when I completed something, instead of being really, celebrating that, I was then looking at all the things I haven't done. So now I've got all these things to do. I was never celebrated that win of achieving something. It was all about, I'm still not happy and feeling okay because I've got all this other stuff now I've got to do. So, it's interesting, isn't it? The pressure we put on ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when you go into business, because you do it because it's something that you love and you're passionate about most of the time. But then we get so caught up in all of the other tasks and what other people are thinking also of us and also of the business. And that's like a whole new thing to, sort of digest and, sort of evaluate. So then we put even more pressure on it, because we think that we have to have higher expectations to constantly show and prove everyone. But we go back to why we started it is because we're doing it because we love it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay to be real, and it's okay to be not so perfect. And I think that, even doing this, I'm not nervous, and I would have been 5 months ago. And the reason I'm not is because this is not about me. This is not a story about me. This is about something that we can hopefully share and inspire and bring something. So if you're ever feeling self-conscious and uncertain and scared, just make it about what it is you're doing, and that's helping others, and that takes the pressure off. Do you find when you do lives and things like this, you used to get nervous?
Yeah, somebody said to me, because 3 years ago, I think I did my first live and I was sweating so badly. Now I'm okay with it, but they said to me, come from a place of service.
Yes.
So you can share your story, but you come from a place of where you want to help other people.
Yes.
And that really does help. And that's the same when I also talk about my business now, is that it's not about all the sort of the wins and the accolades and all of that. It's really about showing people of what they can achieve.
Yeah.
So you take the pressure, the limelight off yourself, but you shine it onto other people.
Yeah, that's right. And I know for me, my most important thing to do in my business is to find out where people are at and what they want in their life, and really stand by helping them to get the results.
Yeah.
You know, before, you know, in the old traditional way, I was more about telling people what they need to do and telling people this is what you need to do. And that, it's interesting. You really have, it's not what you want for other people, it's what they want for themselves.
Yeah.
And you're very much like that in your business.
Yeah.
You know, you can probably sit back, would you agree, sometimes, and know exactly what needs to happen with that person?
Yeah.
And what do you do in those moments when you want to just blurt it all out, but you don't?
I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is the fact that it's about giving them what they want straight away. So sometimes you have to sort of like go in a roundabout way to really give them what they need.
Yeah.
And like we sort of had a conversation before, you know, about, oh, what do I need? And, you know, all this sort of stuff. And but it, like, when you deep dive, and I think when you go through personal development, you know, and sometimes you're still scared to actually even say what you really want. So you just go, oh, it's just this. And, but the other person definitely will know what it is. But
it's so true. I mean, I know people have told me in the past about things that they saw in me that I needed to change, but I didn't buy into it. And the reason I didn't is because I hadn't grown to that level where I could accept that, you know, and now I'm coming up with, like, even the patience thing. You know what I mean? I thought I was patient, and that was one of the things that was, you know, making me go slower in my journey. So, and I think until you're ready and accepting of what that thing is, you're not going to go there. And that's like having good friends, and they're just patient with you, and they just keep throwing it in every now and then one day you say to them, oh, I've realized this about myself, and you're there going, hello. But you don't say anything, and you go, that's amazing.
No, and I think it's really hard, you know, people who are very ambitious and, you know, very driven, it is hard for us to hear certain things.
I'm wanting to say headstrong.
Yeah, but, you know, that's me. Like, so there. You know, my family just looks at me going, oh my God, what's Christine doing now? You know, but it is hard, you know, to hear that. And I mean, I reflect back on, you know, in my personal life, like my girlfriends were telling me that things were wrong in my marriage for 8 years. So it took me 8 years to leave a very toxic marriage. You know, so, you know, then I also say, well, I'm a very patient person, but I'm not really. You know, but it is because I was headstrong too. Like, I didn't want to hear certain things. So
because you're not open to it. You're not ready. No, you're not ready. And I know in my business, you know, unless someone's open to wanting to change their health. You know, or wanting to do something about challenge that they may have with their image, until they're ready to hear it and accept it. It doesn't matter what we say, what we do, they're not there yet. So
and I also find, and I think this would be applicable to you, is that sometimes we've just got to continue being the leaders and really just set that example to show them what is possible, because a lot of people don't have that self-belief, and it took me a long time for myself to even believe in me, and, you know, actually bet on myself. So when we can then show up and show others what's possible, it sort of is a reflection back on those other people. Then they go, oh my God, well, she's doing it. Okay, let's give it a go.
It's so true. Like, I remember someone said to me, it's okay. I'm going to believe that you can do this until you're ready to believe that you can do this. And that to me was profound at the time. because it's like, okay, all right, well, she's going to believe in me, so I guess I'll just keep going because someone believes in me. And I think that's what you do so well, is that you're just there for people, and you're just going to stay with them and nurture them, and you're going to believe in them, and you're going to know they can do it even when they don't believe they can.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about you. Is you're just like this person in the background, and you're just going to be there.
Yeah, I love being the cheerleader for other people, because I find when you are stepping into a new business or, you know, a different change in your life, is that you know, you don't have to always have gone through the same experience, but just knowing that you've got someone there who is going to be your cheerleader, like it doesn't matter whether you come first, you come last, but there's someone that's cheering you on.
It's just knowing that person's there. I was telling a story the other day where I used to play hockey when I was young, and no one was ever there on the sideline to watch me. You know, Dad was out watching my brother, you know, play football, and Mum was working, and I used to just play, you know, mediocre. I just play. I was average. And one day this friend turned up to watch me, and I have never, ever scored in the game of hockey. And all of a sudden I got 3 goals. I won the game. They put me up into A grade the next week, but no one watched me, so I didn't do any good. And it was just having that support person there. They didn't have to do anything. And that made all the difference. And I think that's the same with the game of life. If you just know someone's there, they don't really always have to do anything. You just move forward. It's a crazy thing. So thanks for being the rock for me, and thank you for being there. And even what you said to me before, you know, after this, let's chat and let's see what I can do to help you. Like, that's gold. That's really gold.
And it is very much like, I mean, I love doing it. It's like it literally fills my cup doing it. But in also saying that, it's sort of like I want to be able to just be there for people, you know, and just to say it's okay, because we all have these stumbling blocks. We all have these little ups and downs. And like you said, we're human beings. Like it is just what it is.
And what do we say to people who feel they don't have anyone there as their cheerleader? Like, what do we do? What did we do before we had that? Do you think? So before you have that person, what did we do?
Look, I don't know the exact formula of what I did, but there's an amazing book, and I'm going to get it all wrong, but it's by Brene Brown. And she said, sometimes you have to walk into the wilderness by yourself to find your tribe.
Absolutely.
And for me, that resonates so much, because I did do so much by myself. I did a lot of personal growth. I'm the black sheep in the family, because
I am too. Hey, look at us go.
You know, I'm all into spirituality. I'm into meditation. You know, and I do all of the personal development, and I had to do that myself, because I knew the benefits that I were getting from it. So I was walking that pathway alone. And as I was doing that, I was then attracting other people into my life that were like-minded.
Absolutely.
So I think if you follow your own pathway, I think the right people are actually going to show up, but you have to be open to receive it.
You have to be open, and you have to vibrate, you know, who you are, and you'll attract those like-minded people. And I know there's been times in my life when I've been vibrating what I've attracted into my life.
Absolutely.
And you don't really get it at the time, but I think when you become the person or the people that you want in your life, that's when you step forward. But I think it's a good analogy. Be your own light first, and then all of a sudden you'll look around and there's all these other people beside you.
Absolutely.
Well, at least everyone's got, you know, you to look up to, and that's an amazing thing.
And you can come join their community too. Like I'm this is what I love, giving back, and you know, actually being that sort of, you know, support system, but you know, giving that inspiration to people as well, and showing them how that they can actually do that. And I know that that's what you do as well. And you know, when people come in your team, you're there, you're supporting them, you're encouraging them and showing them. And I think that's what leaders really do, is that we learn and, you know, we're that beacon of light for so many.
And it's so true. Like, listening to you say that you did so much on your own and you're a black sheep, like that was so me. I just got to a point where I thought, I want something done, I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to be solo and I'm just going to go through this. But what I found, and I heard this analogy a long time ago, I never got it, but now I get it. It's sort of a little bit like going to the snow fields, you know, on your own, and you just get your little snowball and you roll it all up really, really tight, and you stand there and you're ready to throw it, and you're so excited and happy, and you just throw it in your own face.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the fun in that?
Yeah, no, that's right.
And that's what I learned in life.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, I know so many people say that, you know, happiness comes from within. And a lot of the times is that when you've learned so much about yourself, but you've gone through, you know, struggles and, you know, even the highs and lows of just life, that as you learn more, you then start to figure out what you really want and where you want to go.
Absolutely. And it's such a constant personal development journey, because you have to keep growing. You know, you have to, what I love about you too is that you're actually doing it. You're a leader. You know, you're walking the talk. You know, I've worked with so many people who said to do all of this stuff, and when I really looked into it, they weren't actually doing it. And that's what I love about you, is that you've got this community, and you are the community.
Yeah,
you know, and you're bringing it together.
Oh, thank you. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, you're welcome. Look at the little sign in the background, friends.
Yes. So I just want to, like, as we sort of finish off, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to the old version of yourself?
Definitely give to yourself first. Definitely set your day up. Every morning. You know, I know time's limited, but get up early. You know, do your gratefulness, do your meditation. Just keep it simple. I got a bit complex when I first started doing this. You know, I just look at 3 things that I want to achieve today for myself personally, and 3 things that I want to achieve for my business. And I do believe in the 2 R's, which is reading and running, or reading and exercise, whatever you want to do. And I find that if I've done that, firstly comes energy and health, because if we don't have the health and the energy, we're not going to be consistent with that. So health and energy, and then just taking that little bit of time before you start your day. So just get up early. Just get up early. You can do all of that in half an hour. You know, I love to do an hour now. Nothing gets in front of it. And because I'm more focused on my health and my well-being physically, I've got the energy to do it. So that would, if you're not doing that consistently, get your energy levels up, which is what we're going to work on today together. And then, you know, make sure you get that time to yourself in the morning. And if you can do it at night before you go to bed, an hour to yourself, that's even more perfect. But even if you can only read 1 page, even if you can only walk 5 minutes,
that's right.
3 things for work, 3 things for personal. And then, you know, get your health in check and good to go.
You talk my language, because I love the power of 3. It's amazing. It was something that I learned in the corporate world. So, just go back and have a look at previous posts, because I talk about it all the time. So.
Okay, well, that's great, because, you know, as soon as you hit your day, we're just more relaxed and we're more open to be in chaos. But if we haven't set ourselves up first, we know what those days look like. We've done it a lot.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and I just want to
thanks for asking me.
Oh, you are so welcome. You can come back anytime. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who is watching this episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show. I'm going to put all the details on how you can reach out to Susan below, to remember to follow your passion and live life to the fullest every single day. Love and light to you all.
Have a great day.